Good morning, welcome to my channel. My name is Jo, and today we're going to be doing some Heartbreak Asks and Love Answers cards. Everything about my channel is about well-being through healing and how we can accelerate that healing process, because I believe we can. And it's to also show that love is simple when we love ourselves first. So I'm going to be giving you tools, tips, techniques on how to do that. But first, I'm going to go with some Heartbreak Ask questions. And these are questions based on heartbreak, and they're kind of common questions that come up when we go through heartbreak. So what I tend to do is shuffle the cards, and then whatever comes out we'll go with, whether it's 10 cards or 1 card. So we'll just see. Okay, we've got a few there. So let's go through them. Okay, so the first one, what did I do wrong? This is a common question that comes up when we're going through some kind of heartbreak, whether we've lost someone who's left us. Even when someone passes on, we go through, what did I do wrong? Because we think of all the things that maybe we didn't do. The same if someone ends a relationship, or if you have a dream that doesn't work out. And everything about this channel is not just related to relationships, it's related to everything that we love, because we can, have a dream, and our dreams are fueled with love, a deepest love from us on a soul level. And when we lose a dream, or something doesn't happen, the first thing is, what did I do wrong? And it's a natural question, and I think what we tend to do, we try to get that out of our head. It's almost like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I do it wrong? Oh gosh, I don't want to go down this road. We kind of almost beat ourselves up about asking that question, but it's a natural question, and it's a question that has to be asked. And I think what we tend to do, we tend to play this over in our head. And what I would suggest to you is to write that question down. Because when you write that question down, it's out of your head and it's on the page, and you see it from a different perspective. So I would write that question down, and I would answer that question. So I would, on a notepad or even on iPad, computer, phone, just write down, what did I do wrong? And then write down what you believe you did wrong. And once you've done that, let it go. And the way you let it go is by giving yourself time to sit in the silence and to breathe and to focus. And, even if it's sitting down, I love tea and I love candles. So, make yourself a cup of tea. This one's amazing. It's 3 ginger from Pucker. And also the candles, Jo Malone, and it's pomegranate. And I will be sharing teas and candles on here, because candle gives light, and tea warms the soul. So I think it's 2 really important things to, have when you're going through something that's challenging. Light a candle every day, and it brings light, it brings energy, it brings focus, it brings calm, and it brings peace. And with even if it's not fragranced, you can get reasonably priced candles that have no fragrance. But if you want fragrance ones, all the better, because there's ones that enhance well-being, enhance healing. So I would really try to focus on lighting a candle, making yourself a cup of tea, getting your notepad and answering that question, and then doing some breathing, which I will be sharing on here, some breathing exercises and techniques to calm you down and to center you and balance you. Okay, so this is a great one that follows on. I don't understand. And that is kind of the process we go through. What did I do wrong? I don't understand. So, and when we don't understand, we become fearful. And that's what causes the most anxiety, because when we understand, the fear goes away. So the way you understand is by actually bringing your focus back to yourself and channeling it into understanding who you are. Because when you understand who you are, the fear goes away. and then you begin to understand everything else. But I will be sharing how to do that again on the channel. But you know why I've have that in there is because it's one of the most common things that comes up, and it's one of the most confusing, and it's the one that we beat ourselves up most over. You know, when we don't understand, it's just constantly fear. And the only way you alleviate that is when I do understand, the fear will go away, and then go on the path to understanding. But I will share that one with you. Okay, maybe you will call. This is something that normally happens when people have heartbreak from a relationship, and there's that constant feeling, maybe you will call, looking at the phone, feeling on edge, feeling anxious, feeling worried, living in hope, and then disappointment. And hope and disappointment are depleting. You know, when you're flipping between those two, it can become very, very depleting. But it's a process, and it's a process you have to go through, and your mind will go through that process. But again, the more you bring it back to understanding who you are, how you function, your purpose, you will go away from maybe you will call, and you will go into I understand why you're not calling. You'll get a greater understanding of the situation, because you have more awareness, more insight. And this is another one, that what did I do wrong? And it's similar to the very, very first one, in the sense that actually we've got two cards the same. Okay, so we'll take that one away. I'm sorry about that. We've got two cards the same. So I could re-record the whole video, but you know, things happen in life. We make mistakes, and I think it's important to share our mistakes. So I must have been so obsessed by that question that I've written it twice. Okay, so, and this is very apt, I have to run, which when we make mistakes, we want to run. And I think that's such an important thing about understanding yourself and loving yourself, is we all make mistakes. And when we do make mistakes, and whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in something that we're doing for work, or a dream that we want to bring into fruition, when we make a mistake, we feel we want to run. When something crumbles, we feel we want to run and hide, because if we run, we think it's not real and it doesn't exist. And even something as simple as what I've just done, written two cards, you know, when I turned that over, I was about to go, oh, that's similar to the other one. And then I looked at it and it was actually a mistake. So, you know, big deal, it's a mistake, you know, and they're not mistakes, they're learning curves. Everything is learning curves. And this is a great example. I did that, I'll check the cards now, because I've learned from the fact that actually I was probably writing them, and I didn't check them. So it's a learning curve, because I won't do it again. And I think that's the most important thing. It's the learning curve of when you learn, then you don't repeat the same thing. And it's going back to that forgive and forget. You know, people say, oh, you have to forgive and forget. I think forgiving is one of those things that takes time, and we're going to that on another card. But forgetting, if we forget, then we make the same mistake again. And that's not holding on to it, that's just learning from the experience. So I have to run is a natural emotion when you're going through these things, because we want to run away from pain, we want to run away from the bad feelings. But what I would say, instead of running, stay put. It doesn't mean you have to do the opposite and go towards. It means just stay put. Just stay in that moment with your candle, with your tea, with your breathing, with your focusing, with your writing down. And a lot of what I'm going to share with you is about writing. It's about writing down your thoughts and about writing down your feelings. So much of it is writing, because we learn so much, or channel it through art. People channel through art. So it's channeling into your creativity, but we'll go much deeper in that as we go through the channel. But these are just a few little tips to kind of give you the idea of my thoughts, and you can decide if they work for you, or if not, then you can search on YouTube for things that do. And I would say, you know, search for things that resonate, because there will be things that resonate for you. And maybe it's not this, but you will find something. Okay, so let's do love answers. Wow, there's lots of cards today. Normally there's only a couple. Okay, so we've got fire and fire. So these cards go fire, earth, air and water. But today we've got 2 fire ones. Okay, so this is interesting. When you're going through heartbreak, this is basically what you feel like. And if you are going through it at the moment, and this is kind of the very beginning stages, and if you are going through it at the moment, you probably will relate to these 2 pictures. You know, behind here is the blue sky somewhere, and here is kind of all the emotions, the anger, the rage, the hurt, the tears, the crying, the pain, and the darkness. And why I kind of love this picture as a representation of heartbreak is, you know that there's the blue sky behind, but you absolutely cannot see it. You kind of just get a little tiny glimpse of it, and you kind of, part of you can't even feel that it's there. You know it's there, but it's so bright and blinding and debilitating, the pain. It's kind of impossible. And here, you know, this is the darkness of feeling like you're in the woods and you can't get out. But look how quickly it shifts. So this was taken, obviously the same day, and I was there maybe for about 15 minutes, roughly 15 minutes. And if you see how the sky's changed, there's nothing here, but then all of a sudden there's gaps. It starts to open up. And this is exactly what happens with us. This is how the healing process works. You're in it, and then all of a sudden, it can happen in a very short space of time. You start to see the way. You start to see that there's more. There's more behind all of this fire that's going on. And then what happens? We come into this, and everything starts to calm down a little bit. We start to see the blue sky, and everything becomes lighter. Everything becomes slightly brighter. And this can happen. If you think about nature, this is sunset, and this is dawn the following day. So if you think about the shift that takes place, it's ever changing. It changes very, very quickly, and we can do exactly the same. And you can go from this to this. And the way you go from that to that is by actually bringing the attention back to the self, focusing on the self, understanding the self, and loving the self. And everything about this channel is about loving yourself, because when you love and respect yourself, everything flows. Life becomes easy, and you understand people better. And you may not like what you see, and you may see things that you find challenging, but you'll be able to deal with it better because you have a deeper awareness of yourself. And when you understand yourself, you understand others. Okay, so I hope that helped. It's just a few little insights into healing, and I will be doing some Love Is cards next, which is all things based on what I believe love is. Okay, so have a great day. Stay strong, stay focused, stay happy, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.